Hi guys, Mike back again with another board game storage solution video. Right, well, those of you that watch previous videos will know that I like board games and I like board game storage solutions. The game that we're looking at today is Eldritch Horror Dreamlands expansion by Fantasy Flight Games. It is another big box expansion for Eldritch Horror. Lots and lots of expansions for Eldritch Horror. We'll just show you what we've got so far. So this is still unopened. I haven't opened it yet, but we're going to have a look at, well, we probably won't unbox it in this video, but I just want to talk about my plans for storing it. At the moment, we have got the base game. So this is Eldritch Horror, the base game. And at the moment, this is not how I'm storing it exactly, because I just pulled everything out just to have a look. So at the moment, we've got, in this box at least anyway, the main board, pretty big board to be fair, so there's that, and then there's some sideboards. So there's the Arctic or the Antarctic, one of the two, so there's that board, and then there's the African sideboard as well, so you get kind of, you know, a third of a board size. And then also in here we've got all the tokens in Plano type boxes, so that's that, and all of the character sheets. So we've got lots of characters and all of the great old ones, plus the instructions for Eldritch Horror, for Forsaken Lore, which was a small box expansion, Mountains of Madness, which was a big box expansion, Strange Remnants, small box, Under the Pyramids, big box, Signs of Carcosa, small box, and now we've got Dreamlands, which is a big box. So lots and lots of expansions. Okay, so that's what we're keeping in the core box at the moment. The boards, the instructions, the tokens, character sheets. We've got the big box for Under the Pyramids. That's empty. And then we've got another big box, at the moment at least anyway, that holds all the cards. So we've got all of our Great Old One cards, all of our encounter cards and mythos cards, and then all of our small cards, artifacts, spells, conditions, etc, etc. And we've got a deck box full of monsters. Okay, and the dice, got some dice in there, and the character sheet stands. So that's how I'm sort of storing the game at the moment, and it's fine. I want a better solution, so what I'm doing is something along the lines of this. Those of you, again, who've watched my previous videos will know I'm a fan of a wooden box. I think it fits the theme quite nicely. I think it fits the, you know, like an old wooden box on the shelf with who knows what wonders inside. So there's a clasp on the lid. This box stores Elder Sign, which is another Cthulhu type game, but it's more kind of card based, card driven. So at the moment, and I did a storage solution video on this, so if you go back through my older videos you'll see how I created this storage solution, and I want to do something similar for Eldritch Horror. So at the moment we've got, I mean, this game has very large cards, so they're very big cards, and then we're going to do the small cards as well, all of our monster tokens and characters and dice and stuff. And we made a little tray out of foam core, and the base of it is a poster board, cardboard, you know, and that works very well. And it all fits nicely, lovely. Okay, so that's the kind of thing I want to do for Eldritch Horror. Just got to think about what game I'm talking about. So what I've done, so we've got this box, got another box. It's a little bit bigger. It is the same depth, it is the same width, but it's longer. Well, it's wider, but the same length. So it's 40 centimeters wide by 30 centimeters by, I'm not sure how deep it is actually, but it's the same as this one, but as you can see it's 10 centimeters longer or wider, depending on which orientation you prefer. So what I'm going to do is basically create a storage solution for Eldritch Horror in this box. I'm going to lay it, I'm going to put poster board in here just to cover the wood, and then I'm going to start creating a storage solution. I'm not entirely, the only issue I've got is the main game board. So as with Elder Sign, I can keep rule books in the lid, potentially, by making kind of a bar across here. And I could also keep, potentially, the small sideboards in there as well, because it all fits. And I could put a bar across there and everything would fit quite nicely. What doesn't fit is the main game board, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't fit by literally about ½ centimetre. So it doesn't fit in the lid of the box quite. So I need to decide whether, I'll show you. So there's kind of this situation here. So if I notched out a piece of this, if I notched out a bit of this game board would fit in the lid potentially. But I don't know if I want to do that. I'm not entirely sure. So what I might do is just store all the cards, all the tokens, everything basically bar the main game board. And what I was half thinking is making some sort of like almost an envelope on top, like build the sides up with something, and then put like another cover on it, like a lid almost. So, and then leave the front open so you could sort of slide the game board into the lid of the box because it's shorter than the width. Yeah, you sort of get what I'm saying. Yeah, kind of make something, make some sort of frame on the outside, and then be able to slide this board in. I mean, I could even do it. No, yeah. Well, I mean, I could. Yeah. Anyway, so they're just my thoughts at the moment. So I'll come back to you and I'll show you what we've done after it's finished. So I'll catch you in a sec. Okay, guys, and we're back, and a storage solution has been created. Now, I think if you want it all in, if you want it all in one box, you need a bigger box. I'm really pleased with the way this has come out. I'm really pleased with this storage solution. But the rider on this box, and those of you that wanted to know, the external diameter of this box are 40 centimeters by 30 centimeters by 10 centimeters. So bear that in mind. Internal dimensions are slightly smaller at the moment, and this might be reviewed in the future. I am keeping the core box just for the instructions and the boards. I mean, it is perfectly feasible to sort of build up the sides with wood or something, or foam core, and then put a top on basically, and make like an envelope. So you'd have a framework around the three sides, and then you could slide basically. It's quite thick. That's all the boards and instructions, and you could sort of slide everything in potentially. So all your boards and instructions would be on top, and then you'd have some sort of like pocket, like a frame on top of the lid. But I haven't got the materials right now to do it, and I've kind of finished this at the moment, and I'm quite happy with just keeping all of the boards and the instructions in the box. Eagle-eyed amongst you as well would have noticed that I did omit one expansion because I sort of flicked through the instructions and I got caught up on the back of one. So we do have the expansion for Strange Remnants as well, but that just got caught on the back of this instruction book. So this is everything: core game, Forsaken Lore, Mountains of Madness, Strange Remnants, Under the Pyramids, Signs of Carcosa, Dreamlands. So it's everything available for Eldritch Horror as it stands in January 2017. We've got one core board, one main box, one main game board, and we've got 3 sideboards. So, and then all of the instructions go in there. So at the moment, that's what I'll do. I sort of half thought about maybe getting another box, same box, and then you just using the lid. I could take the lid off the box effectively and just use the lid as the kind of envelope situation scenario to encompass everything on top of the lid. Anyway, we'll see. But anyway, this is it. Right. So this is it. Eldritch Horror in a box. So as you'll see, we didn't go for the bar across the top because of the way these internal trays fit, or the way I've even fit the internal trays. And again, you might find a different or better way to do it, you know, if you decide to do something like this. So, made some little trays. So in our first tray here, again, it is poster board. It's basically poster board and 5mm foam core. The height on all of these strips is 2 centimeters. And basically, I've just cut a piece of poster board to size and made a foam core tray effectively, and just filled it to the amount of components I had. So you'll have hours of fun kind of working through your components and decide what fits in what sections. So we've got all of our epic monsters and some new portal tokens from Dreamlands expansion in here. All of our gates, mystery tokens and stuff. All of our tickets, which I figured don't need to be separated because there's so few of them, and you can clearly see which are train tickets and which are ship tickets. So I don't think they need to be separated. Dice and all of the tokens you use for every game. So the various markers and the start player marker. So that's that, and that fits in quite nicely there. Our other tray is everything else. It's not a huge amount. There's not masses and masses of tokens for this game, actually. You think because there's so many expansions, you've got hundreds and hundreds of tokens. And even though you've probably got, 100, a couple of 150 tokens maybe, 200 tokens maybe, they're all the same, you know, so you haven't got lots of different types. So we've got all of our skill tokens in here. So again, I've mixed them. These are like the positive skills and the negative skills, but again, they're easy enough to differentiate, so I didn't decide to split them. So we've got the 5 different skill types, all of our health, stamina, all of our sanity, and again, I didn't split the 3s and the 1s because you can just see which are 3s and 1s. All of the clue tokens, focus tokens, and all the Eldritch tokens. So those 2 trays fit on there perfectly. He says, yeah, you got to put this one in first. So I've measured it. It's all measured. It's fine. It's dandy. It works. Okay, and the lid shuts clearly, which is important. So we've got these 2 trays. So they come out for gaming purposes, and then this is our internal section. This is all glued in, and these are all of our cards basically. So on this side, we've got just blocked it off with foam, just to keep it straight. So I've done all of my little cards that I make on cardboard and then laminate with the typeface typewriter setting, just because I think it fits the theme. And in this side we've got all of our overviews, preludes, adventures and encounter cards basically for everywhere. So America, Asia, Australia, Europe, General, Otherworld. Then we've got our specific expeditions, Mystic Ruins, Antarctica Research, Mountains, Outposts, Africa, Egypt, and the new ones, Dreamland and Dream Quest. And then our Mythos cards at the back of the various colours, green, yellow, and blue. And we just use our bits of foam there just to keep it nice and so it doesn't all move about. You'll see that there is a little bit of room for expansion. Clearly, if they release, I'll be absolutely fine for another small box expansion. This would fit. Another big box expansion depends, maybe just about. So we'll see what happens. And then in this channel here, We've got all of our mystery encounter and special encounter cards for all of the great old ones, so they're alphabetized as we go. This channel here, we've got all of our small cards, so all of our reference cards, spells, artifacts, assets, unique assets and conditions, and again, expansion room in here and expansion room in here too. So there's card expansion space. In this bag here, we've just got stands. I didn't have anywhere to put the stands, so I thought I'll bag them up and just keep them in a bag because I had a bag. So that's fine. In this channel here, or in this section here, we've got all of our great old ones and all of our investigator sheets. They're the same size. And there's quite a stack of them actually. So we need quite a deep receptacle for those. So they stay in there and they just go on top. All of our investigator tokens, so all of our characters fit in here quite nicely, just stacked. So there's just a little channel there. And then last but not least, all of our monster tokens. And again, there's expansion room in here too. So all of our monsters just go in here. And again, because you, at the start of the game, you put all of the monsters in the monster cup, which is an opaque container, a bag or something. So these all just come out. You select your investigators to play before you start, and you select your great old one, and you clearly get your investigator sheets before you start. So I could either have this box to the side and play the cards out of the box, or get this relevant cards out of the box and go from there. These token trays would just sit nicely on the side, and you can just access whatever you need to access. Again, probably have to do something with the clue tokens because they are double-sided, and so you're not allowed to see what's on the back of them. So possibly would need to do something with that. And again, they could just go in an opaque cup potentially. So yeah, that's it. So that goes on top there, nicely fits in. And this one does just rest on top of, because there's so many of the divider cards, and the divider cards are proud above the actual cards. And because there's so many of them, you can put quite a bit of weight on those without them becoming bent. But because this is really light, I mean, there's not much weight to this at all. Just sits on top of all of that very, very nicely. And then lid shuts, closed. Job done. Very heavy, but very well organised, if he does say so himself. And then we've just got the main core box just to carry the boards and the instructions in. Like I say, in the future, I might make some sort of pocket, but at the moment, my complete Eldritch Horror storage solution is, let's get the camera up slightly. Yeah, my entire Eldritch Horror storage solution is between the wooden box and just the core box. And that's it. So let me know what you think. Queries, questions, comments, always gratefully accepted. And I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.